Hey Libra, how are you doing? So, I have a quick reading for you today, and I wanted to take a look at all the energies of the end of the year right now, because we are closing 2020, which is one of the hardest years most of us have seen, right? The younger of us, this is probably the hardest year, the messiest year that we have seen, and we are closing it now. So to step into 2021, I wanted to see how we are doing that. How are we closing the year? With what energy? How are we taking it? And how we are stepping into 2021, okay? And I also felt drawn to talk about Chiron to every single zodiac. I don't know why Chiron specifically, but I felt drawn to talk about it, okay? And Chiron is currently in Aries and it's going retrograde as well. Chiron is about our inabilities, our unhealed wounds, and these are wounds that doesn't matter how hard we try, we never seem to get over it. We learn how to cope with it. We learn how to live with it, but we never get through it. Okay, so Chiron in Aries. Oh, that's nice. I like what I got for you already. So Chiron in Aries is a certain inadequacy in stepping into our own power, in going after what it is that we want. Because Aries is a very action-oriented card, is a leader, is the leader of the zodiac, is the first one, right? It opens the wheels for everybody else. So they are very action-oriented, they are very impulsive, they are very intuitive as well. They don't think much, they just go because they know what it is that they want. So with Chiron transiting in there, we have an inadequacy around that, right? We have a certain self-sabotaging pattern in a sense as well. And since it's retrograde, it's a very internalized process. So this is a moment to actually take a look into that and find out what it is, why it is that it's happening. Now, you are Libra, so especially if you are a Libra rising, okay, but also if you are a Libra sun, then this is all happening in your natural 7th house, which is Aries. So how do you feel inadequate in asserting yourself when you deal with others? And this is very on one-on-one relationships, okay? Not just love relationships, but intimate relationships. Also partnerships in work, at work, but imagine your boss or the people who work closely to you in the work environment. So those people that you really need to interact one-on-one. Oh, that's being hard to say that. What is your inadequacy around that? Do you feel incapable in asserting yourself and being a leader when you deal with others? So I think that this is a time for you to take a look into that, why it is that that happens. And with Chiron in there, those issues, they will come more to the surface right now, okay? Let's see what we have for Libra ending the year of 2020 and starting 2021. You know what I'm finding interesting here, shuffling this for you, is that the cards are taking their sweet time. to come out. And for some zodiacs, they just came out right away. But as I shuffle it, what I feel is almost a sense of, it's almost a sense of discriminating. You're not just accepting everything that comes towards you, you know? You're really taking your time to go through what it is that you want and choose exactly what is good for you. And I could feel that shuffling the cards as well, because the cards weren't just jumping. It's like, no, I'm not gonna settle until exactly that thing that I want comes towards me. And I really like that for you. So opening here the reading, we have a beautiful Wheel of Fortune. I don't know if it's focusing. Yeah, now it did. But can you see how beautiful this card is? This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. Like, I think that this is a beautiful representation of the Wheel of Fortune. And this is the Good Tarot. So there is so much prosperity here. But the Wheel of Fortune, ending the year of 2020 and starting 2021, it reminds us that life is a cycle. There is a cycle in everything that we do. We can't expect to only go downwards all the time, and we can't expect us to only go upwards all the time. So the wheel is always spinning. But as I see it, is that the wheel kind of spins like this. So it goes up, but when it goes down, it doesn't go as low as the lowest before. And then when it goes up, it goes a bit higher than the top, the highest point that we had been before. So it's always like it's cycling and going upwards, okay? But it's almost as if we don't remember that. It's almost as if when we have problems, you know that we tend to forget pain. It's like when we get a tattoo, for instance. I don't know if you have a tattoo, or just remember a time in which you hurt yourself, okay? And it was very painful. So for instance, you hurt yourself, and in that moment it was quite painful. Or like a tattoo, if you ever had a tattoo. When it's happening, it's quite painful, but as soon as you end it, you can't remember the pain anymore. And then if someone asks you like, oh, did it hurt? Like, yeah, it hurt a lot. But you're saying that from a rational point of view, not because you can actually remember the pain, because you can't. Once you're over a pain, you can't really remember how it felt. You rationalize how it felt, like, no, I remember that it hurt. I remember that in my mind it was hurting a lot, but you can't really remember the pain. So for instance, when something else happens in our lives, that feels like the most painful thing that ever happened to us. But that's just because we can't really remember how painful previous situations were. We can only remember that from a rational point of view, but not from actually feeling those feelings. And it's the same with happiness. We can think of a moment in which we were very happy, but it's hard to really put ourselves back in that moment, into that moment, you know? So we tend to live pretty much in the here and now sometimes. We remember things from this rational point of view. So I don't know why I'm saying this to you. It's just something that started coming to my mind now with the Wheel of Fortune. So it's almost as if I want to tell you that doesn't matter the pain that you're going through right now, you probably had stronger pains in your past and you got through it. And doesn't matter how happy you think you were in the past, you might be just as happy now, but you can't really compare that. So life is this endless cycle, and we are always going through ups and downs in our lives, always, non-stop. But with the Wheel of Fortune here, and I got another Wheel of Fortune right in the center of your reading. You can't really see it here. Maybe I'll take a picture and post here on the screen later, so actually you can see what I'm talking about. But I have a Wheel of Fortune right in the middle of your reading, and both of them are upright. So I think that right now you are starting the upward movement of the Wheel of Fortune. If the last few years have been a struggle, an incredible struggle for you, I can really tell you here that things are moving for the better in 2021. because the Wheel of Fortune is quite well marked, okay? So this is something that I wanted to tell you at first. So we open the reading with the Knight of Cups in the reverse. And I cannot associate this Knight of Cups with someone. For me, the court cards aren't always about someone else, okay? But in this case, I feel strongly that this person was someone else who brought a lot of internal struggles to you, okay? And for any reason, they took away an offer that you wanted, because the Knight of Cups is in the reverse here. So either you ended up things with someone, or someone ended up things with you. Either you removed an offer, like took away, withdrew an offer that you made to someone, or someone did that to you. In any case, you felt like an offer of love that you were expecting didn't come from this person, okay? And doesn't need to necessarily be romantic. It could also be, for instance, a job that you really wanted, something that you thought could make you very happy, and in the last minute they took back the offer. They didn't offer you the job. It could be a family member that you were just expecting to get some excuses from, some apologies, or either a friend, but in the end they didn't, they withdrew that. And it could also be a romantic interest that in the end didn't offer you what you wanted, okay? But whatever it was, I can barely see that in the rest of your reading, okay? And right next to it, we have the Seven of Cups in the reverse. And the Seven of Cups is one of the few cards that I really like to see in the reverse, because what it tells me here is that even though you were quite confused and you really thought that that's what you wanted when you were with this person, I think that the Seven of Cups in the reverse here points out to an end in the confusion. It's like before you thought you wanted this, but it's not that you wanted this, it's just that you didn't know what you wanted. So you were easily getting attached to whatever was coming your way, because you weren't sure what it is that you wanted. So you were like, okay, so maybe it's this, maybe it's that, oh, maybe it's him, maybe it's her. And I think that when this person left your life, it also started lifting a veil of illusion that you were putting over yourself. And I don't think that this person was putting any illusion over you, to be honest. Not at least here from this reading. I don't see that. I think that these were self-imposed illusions because you didn't know what it is that you really wanted, okay? So it was easy to project your wantings onto someone else. But I see this ending right now. And right next to it, I see this Five of Wands. And I really like seeing the Five of Wands here because it points to me that with the end of confusion, you are finally getting the energy to go after what it is that you want, to go through life, you know? I don't get a sense of battle, even though the Five of Wands is sometimes a card of struggle, of battle, of conflict. I see this as a healthy conflict. It's like, it's almost a sport, you know? It's like you're gaining a lot of confidence and fun from battling right now. So going after what it is that you want. So for instance, if you apply for a job, there is that sense of excitement, of competition, you know? So it's a healthy competition here that I see. It's something that is pushing you forward and it looks like you're having fun. And for Libras, this is a big thing because Libras are known for trying to avoid conflict, for trying to keep things on the same plate with everybody. But for some reason here, and I really like this, with this Wheel of Fortune, you are enjoying more of your competitive side, which is great for you because Aries is your 7th house, and this actually ties beautiful with what I said about Chiron in the beginning, you know? And I didn't pay attention to the cards before. I think I didn't have the cards here yet when I was talking to you about Chiron, but it brings back that Aries is your shadow self. So it is a part of you that you don't always acknowledge, and you might even project onto others. Others are assertive. Others have the energy and the will to go after what they want, but not me. No, I'm a Libra. I like things to be balanced. But no, that Aries side of you exists. Is a strong part of your personality as well, because it is your shadow self. It's just hidden from you. It's just something that you can't always see in yourself, that is not always easily recognizable, but it is there. And I think that you are learning how to enjoy that part of yourself, how to enjoy the competitiveness, how to enjoy the assertion, how to enjoy a healthy conflict. Okay? So I like it. I really like the first row for you. And then under the Knight of Cups, I do see something here, because I see the World in the reverse right under this Knight of Cups. Okay, and then what it brings to me is that even though this person apparently left your life, or this job, or whatever it is, I think that there is a high chance that they are coming back around at the end of the year or beginning of next year. I would say actually before the end of the year, probably. But I think that they are coming back around. And I think that for some reason you still feel a sense of unfinished business with this person. I think that you feel a sense of needing to tie the final knots with them. I don't know why exactly, but I get this feeling from the World in the reverse, okay? But what I would tell you is that this doesn't need to be such a big deal. Even though it's the World in the reverse, I see here right next to the World in the reverse the Wheel of Fortune again, as I told you, okay? And I really love this combination. Can you see how beautiful it is? How both cards really match so well with one another. And as I said, the Wheel of Fortune is right in the middle of your reading. And what I see here is that even though you feel this sense of unfinished business with this person, I think that you also know that you need to move forward, because you need to restart this new phase in your life. And you don't want to be tied back, okay? You don't want this person to tie you back, to hold you back. And I'm saying this also because of the rest of the reading, but I'll get there. But I think that before the end of the year, you might feel quite tempted to try and reconcile things with them, okay? And try to tie back these knots. But right next to the Wheel of Fortune, I also see something really nice, because what I see is this Six of Cups in the reverse and the Wheel of Fortune. And this Six of Cups talks to me about you leaving stuff from the past behind, but I don't think this is actually talking about this person. For me, this Six of Cups, they have a higher connotation with a family. So it's more like some family patterns, things that you absorbed from your upbringing, and that you ended up, you created these coping mechanisms. Okay, I feel drawn to say something actually here. When we grow up having certain parents or certain, I don't know, whatever it is that we had during our upbringing, maybe it wasn't our family directly, but maybe friends that we had when we were children, or even like teachers when we were children. So whatever contact we had growing up, sometimes they induce in us coping mechanisms and ways in which we start dealing with reality. And many times we tell ourselves like, nah, but this is my personality. And it's like, this is not necessarily your personality. This is a coping mechanism. But don't get attached to the coping mechanisms in a way of this is who I am, because coping mechanisms, they are just that, mechanisms. They are not supposed to be with you forever. You know, they are supposed to be left behind. You are supposed to get through them, to get over them, and just ascend over them, you know? So get the good things that you can from those, but don't dress your coping mechanisms as if they determine who you are. Okay, and with the Six of Cups here in the reverse, what I see is that I see you leaving some of these patterns behind. I see you understanding that some of these things, they did serve a purpose for you before, probably for a long time in your life. These things were important for you to deal with reality, you know, and to deal with other people. They were there to protect you and to help you in some way, but they are not needed anymore. And once they are not needed anymore, then they need to be treated as what they are, which is coping mechanisms, and then left behind. Integrate the parts of them that are necessary for you, but don't dress them as if this is who you are and that's it, and that's completely determined, and there's no change from that, okay? But I see you moving away from that. I really see that. This Six of Cups in the reverse. I think that you still feel a bit tempted to go back to them from time to time because it's still a process, but more and more I see you distancing yourself from it, okay? So let's go back now to the World card, because then right under it I have this. So I have the Nine of Cups and the World in the reverse. And when I said that this person might come back before the end of the year, and especially with the Nine of Cups, because the Nine of Cups is a card of wish fulfilling, right? So I think that them coming back at the end of the year or the beginning of next year, this can signify that they are ready to offer you something, or that they are ready to tell you that they can offer you it. If they will offer you for sure or not, I don't know. And if it will be what you thought it would be, I don't know. Okay, actually I do have an idea here. I'll get there. But I think that they might offer you something. And this is also a card of holidays, right? This is a card of celebration. It's a card of happiness and celebration, and yeah, just a bit of excesses as well. So I think that it really points out to me that this person can come around the end of the year, around the celebrations and the holidays, okay? But why don't I like this person coming back? First, because with the wish fulfilling card, I think that I don't know if you can hear this, that there's a bit of noise going on outside, but I think that with this person coming back around as the Nine of Cups here, even though they are offering you something, I have a sense that this can pull you out of your real purpose, okay? And this is because they are coming right next to the Queen of Wands in the reverse. And the Queen of Wands is a card of Aries as well. She's a very fiery queen, okay? So I associate her with all the fire signs. But she's in the reverse here. So it's like this person puts you out of your power. And the Queen of Wands in the reverse, it's right under this. So we have here, we have the Seven of Cups in the reverse. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. And then we have the Queen of Wands in the reverse. So what I see is, so you just did so much for yourself and you just found out your power back, you know, you just got it back and you just ended that confusion that you have been living into. And I think that this person's offer can put you right back into that. Okay, so this is why I don't like this person coming back to tempt you, because even though you have this feeling of unfinished business with them, and you might feel like you want to put a real end into it, I feel like this person's presence won't do you good. You know, because you are trying to integrate that Aries part of yourself in your personality, and then this person comes and they put you right outside of your element, you know, right outside of that Aries element that you are trying to integrate in you. So they turn you into the Queen of Wands in the reverse, and I don't like that. And then also, right next to this Queen of Wands, we have the Three of Wands in the reverse. Oh, it's quite noisy because there's a truck carrying some stuff outside. So if you're hearing a noise, it's just a truck that I think they are dropping some big stones or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, and then look also at how this Three of Wands in the reverse comes right under the Six of Cups in the reverse. So, you know, all these generational patterns that you're trying to get rid of, this person comes and they kind of bring you back into the same patterns. It's like they have a way of triggering these generational patterns in you. And that's why I think that it's not interesting to connect back with this offer, even though it is something that you wanted before, because I don't think that it's gonna do you good, you know. So it brings you back into a place of powerlessness in which you fall back into your old patterns that you're currently trying to get over. Okay, so I would really ask you to pay attention to that. Okay, so if this person comes around and they want you to still offer you this, whatever you wanted a lot in the past, and even though you have this sense of needing to tie things back with them, you know, and have your wish fulfillment, I do think that it's like going back to the same thing, going back to the same pattern, going back to the same cycle. And then the Wheel of Fortune will have to wait for the next time that it will turn, you know, because the Wheel of Fortune is here wanting to spin for you, wanting a new cycle to begin. And if you want to go back to the old cycle, to the previous cycle, then the universe might say like, okay, go back into that old cycle. Once things go wrong again and you find out that, yeah, indeed this wasn't meant to be for you, then the wheel will start spinning. Okay, but I see this repeating cycle here in case you want to try and get this this offer from this person. I just see the cycle repeating itself, and then you will just be delaying your development. You'll just be delaying this new cycle that the universe is trying to give you. Okay, Libra. So I want to get a oracle card for you, and let me see what I want to get for you. I want to get you this. Actually, I'm gonna get one Angels and I always forget the name of this deck. Angels and Ancestors. But I also want to get a spirit animal for you, and the spirit animal I will read from the book. Okay, so let's see what the spirit animals have for you. Oh, this is interesting. I really find this very interesting. I will read for you in a bit, but just to show you, I got the chameleon spirit, okay? Act as if. And then the angels and ancestors. And for the chameleon spirit, I know this card very well, but I'm just gonna read it for you, the book, and then I'll leave it up for you to make your own conclusions, okay? And for the angels and ancestors, I will interpret for you. So let's see what we have. Okay, actually I want to get one more. Oops, yeah, it wanted to come because it's okay. Okay, so we first got the Earth Mother, feel loved and comforted. So I think that at this the end of the year is very important for you to connect a bit with the earthly pleasures that you like. How do you like to comfort yourself? And just bask yourself in that, you know, just enjoying your own body and what it is that you like, what it is that brings comfort to your life, just to feel a bit nurtured throughout this end of the year. I think it will be important for you. And then we also have the Air Guardian with shift your perception. Sorry, Libra, my camera stopped. So, yeah, so what I was saying about the Air Guardian, remember what I was saying in the beginning about the Wheel of Fortune, that we live too much in the here and now, so sometimes it's hard for us to remember past pains and past happiness as well. So we just, our perception is always there. Everything that happens to us that is painful or that is hard, it feels like the hardest thing we've ever been through, and it's not true. So change your perception around that. You know, you've been through worse, and if you're happy now, enjoy that happiness, you know. And if you're not happy, don't lie to yourself that that makes you happy. Try to remember moments in which you have been really happy. So shift your perception around that. And then the chameleon spirit, I want to read for you. So it's number 14. Page 43, and yeah, this one I find it so interesting, and I want to read the protection message for you. Okay, so make your own conclusions, but I find this animal spirit fascinating. So Being sensitive and having empathy for others can become a heavy burden if you don't practice self-care. And remember what I said about the Earth Mother, feel loved and comforted? Could it be you're feeling stressed because you have tuned in to challenging emotions that aren't even yours? Chameleon spirit does not want you to adapt to these conditions by withdrawing or distracting yourself, hoping the feelings will just go away, or attempting to rescue another who may be having a pity party. You can be swallowed up trying to manage it all. It is time to figure out where you end and the rest of the world begins. Not all conditions are yours to match. You need to distinguish your own color from the rest of the world right now and take time out to soothe your sensitive soul. Choose some activities that will restore your sense of being grounded and avoid people who revel in drama. So again, about being grounded with the Earth Mother, because earthly pleasures, they ground us, they connect us with the real life, with the here and now, so that we are not so sensitive to our emotions and to other people's emotions around us that we are just picking up. Take a break from social media too. Self-care and a time-out is the answer to this temporary dilemma. Okay, so make your own conclusions, but yeah, there is this big theme around the self-care. So how can you ground yourself? Do activities in which you can connect with your body, in which you can connect to the ground itself, because that will help your energy to be more grounded, and you will be less susceptible to other people's influences, and especially energetic influences. Okay? So Libra, I love doing your reading, and that's all I have for you. I'll see you next month in the January reading, and take care. Bye bye.